Francis Ngannou exposes Dana White, BKFC's David Feldman, and One Championship's Chatri Sityodtong. Khamzat Chimaev invites Andrew Tate to come and watch his fight. Footage of Conor McGregor crying backstage after losing to Khabib goes viral. And the UFC's first ever female commentator heaps praise on Laura Sanko. Francis Ngannou has revealed details of his meetings with UFC President Dana White and One Championship CEO Chatri Sityodtong while exposing BKFC President David Feldman for his blatant lie. Ngannou, who parted ways with the UFC in January and announced his signing with the PFL in May, has revealed everything that happened during the last 4 months. Starting with the UFC, Ngannou claimed that he told Dana White that he didn't feel like he was a part of the promotion during their negotiations. And White's response was bizarre.
And I'm like, no, I feel like I've been in the promotion lately without a promoter. I don't have a promoter anymore. And I said this to Dana, like, I don't feel like I belong. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, have you ever want to come to a event and you don't get ticket? Or have you ever want to go to the PI and couldn't access? And for a moment, I thought about it. I'm like, man, this guy is so good. Like, look how he switched the situation. So I will be working my whole life to have access for event and the PI.
If Dana White was bad, Chatri Sityodtong was far worse. According to Ngannou, he had already signed a deal with the PFL when Chatri came calling. Ngannou made his intentions clear to him, but the One Championship CEO wouldn't give up, and even told Ariel Helwani that he was going to make the Cameroonian the biggest offer. Ngannou claimed that no offer was made, and his meeting with Chatri was 2 hours of him boasting about his promotion's social media metrics.
I think Chatri was just performing. I have told him and Matt Humes that I get a best offer from PFL and this, and I don't think I'm not going to do any negotiation with you guys. And that was back 6 weeks before that. And I'm like, oh, I can fly you to my show in Singapore. I can fly to Cameroon. I can this. And he was all in me. Like, we met in LA, and I was just like, and up front, before anything starts, I'm like, listen, this is the thing. I have told you this. I'm favoring PFL right now. So then he started to put all this stuff, started showing me all those screenshots. I think he showed me 13 screenshots, all the statistics, how ONE FC is the second more view sport in the sport. He has more view on YouTube than Premier League, than NFL, than NBA. Show me on ONE FC, I'm gonna explode. I'm gonna be like Nelson Mandela. Hey, bro, he was a hell of a performance. By the way, I applaud Chatri for his performance.
Remember when David Feldman claimed that he turned down Francis Ngannou because he was asking for an unrealistic amount of money? Well, according to Ngannou, he was lying through his teeth.
But I never talked to that guy. We never asked him anything. And he never even reached out. Not to say we weren't interested. We weren't, but he never even reached out. So he didn't know if yes or not we were interested. That's why that's what I say, some promoter out there, hey bro, two faces, crazy stuff.
Speaking of crazy stuff, Dana White went as far as trying to squash Francis Ngannou's big PFL announcement. Hours after Ngannou made his move to the PFL and was the talk of the town, Dana knocked him off the headlines with some absolutely thrilling fight announcements, including a BMF title fight between Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje, as well as a light heavyweight fight between Alex Pereira and Jan Blachowicz at UFC 291 in July. Dana also announced a bantamweight title fight between Aljamain Sterling and Sean O'Malley, and a strawweight title fight between Zhang Weili and Amanda Lemos at UFC 292 in August. Politics aside, the next few months are going to be very violent. Controversial social media star Andrew Tate has promised Khamzat Chimaev that he will attend his upcoming fight at UFC 294 in Abu Dhabi later this year. Tate, who is currently under house arrest on charges of human trafficking and rape, had a FaceTime with the UFC's top prospect. Chimaev invited him to watch his upcoming fight at UFC 294 in October.
Bro, look, you started a fashion. Bro, shave your mustache, bro. You're gonna be like wrestler like me, bro.
Shave the mustache like him, bro.
I'm get in the cage and fuck someone up like you do, bro. I can't wait to get over there. I can't wait to get over there. Yeah, I hope, brother. I hope see you soon, brother. I wish you good luck in your next fight. Thank you, brother. It ain't gonna last long. You don't need it. You don't need it, bro. You don't need it.
Bro,
Yeah, we'll win that fight.
you've got to be here October, ringside. You watching him. Imagine.
Bro, I'll do anything it takes. You know, if it's possible, I'll be there 100%.
I hope so, brother. I hope so, brother. See you here,
Best of
brother.
luck, man.
Thank you very much. Happy to see you, brother.
Chimaev was earlier rumored to fight Paulo Costa, but the Brazilian will be fighting promotional newcomer Ikram Aliskerov, whose only career loss has come at the hands of Chimaev, and that too by a brutal uppercut KO. The UFC has yet to announce Chimaev's next opponent. Documentarian Gautam Chopra, who has worked with Tom Brady and LeBron James in the past, believes Conor McGregor has the strongest will. Chopra isn't a huge MMA fan, but McGregor's story was fascinating enough to get him interested in the Irishman's McGregor Forever documentary, which was released on May 17th on Netflix. The goal of the documentary, according to Chopra, is to show the world exactly why McGregor is one of the most popular athletes in the world.
But I'd say figuratively, this guy has the most incredible will and resilience than anyone I've ever been around. And, you know, I think that is inspiring. You don't have to be a fighter or a fight fan to appreciate that. And that's sort of the goal. Obviously, he has an incumbent audience that I think people will love because there's a lot of inside access and just a lot of different sides to him. But I think the goal for us is always to get beyond that and to say, you know, to show a person who's come from, you know, some pretty incredible circumstances to build himself into one of the, certainly the biggest icon in sport, but even, you know, beyond the sport in the world. And I think that sense of, you know, resilience, that ability to always push more and more to outwork everyone is, you know, quite inspiring. And so I hope people take that message from it.
Like all greats of the sport, McGregor's story is full of moments where he enjoyed the thrill of victory and experienced the agony of defeat, like against Khabib. With the documentary project recently released, a post-UFC 229 clip is doing rounds on social media. The video clip depicts McGregor weeping and being consoled by his coach John Kavanagh after a devastating loss to Khabib at UFC 229, where the champ was submitted in the 4th round. McGregor is set to face Michael Chandler at the end of The Ultimate Fighter Season 31 later this year. Will Conor McGregor reach the highest of highs in MMA again? Kathy Long is super happy about Laura Sanko's success as a broadcaster in mixed martial arts. Sanko, a former fighter turned broadcaster, made history by becoming the first female commentator in modern UFC history earlier this year at UFC Vegas 68. She had previously commentated on Dana White's Contender Series and hosted the UFC's pre- and post-fight shows. Kathy Long, who is widely respected as the UFC's first female commentator, heaped tons of praise on Sanko, saying that she's super proud of her.
You deserve it. You deserve this. Because you didn't start, you know, right away doing the UFC, but, you know, you were given an opportunity and you have blossomed from that opportunity. And you deserve anything that's good about women in color commentating. If there's anyone that can hold their weight in that, it is you.
What do you make of Kathy Long's comments? Give us your thoughts on today's stories in the comments section below. If you liked our video, please show us some love by subscribing and turning on the notifications so that you never miss out on all the latest happenings in the world of MMA. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.